No, अरे यार ऐसे ना ऐसे.
Okay. Welcome to the bridge, guys. I'm Nidhi,
I'm Akhilesh.
and we are here to basically celebrate one of the historic feats that India has just achieved a couple of minutes back. A penultimate shot by Swapnil Kusale, and he is on his way to write his name in history books. And that's how India gets the first medal, first ever medal in 50 meter rifle three position. A historic feat. When Swapnil Kusale reached to the finals, he already became the first Indian to achieve that feat. But this particular achievement from Swapnil Kusale was not in the conversation. And he sneaked past a star-studded Indian contingent to register his name in the history books. That is Swapnil Kusale for you guys. And Akhilesh here will now help us understand how exactly did he do it. Right? What was the process? It was not just that penultimate shot that I'm talking about, right, Akhilesh?
Yes. I take you to yesterday first when the qualification was happening, and the more popular shooter in the 50-meter rifle three question is Aishwarya Pratap Singh Tomar, who did represent India in Tokyo Olympics, and he was expected to sort of go to the final, but
Yeah.
Swapnil towards the end of the qualification, Swapnil was still had to shoot his best to get sneak into the qualification because he was hovering around the 8th to 10th position in the qualification, the top 8 to qualify for the final, and he did really well towards the end. And he's continued the same thing today as well, where he was hovering around outside the medal positions and then sneaked in right in the moment
Yeah.
to get the bronze. And what a moment it is for India.
Exactly. And Swapnil Kusale is 29. He has been the part of shooting circuit for as long as they remember. Many shooters came, all of them left. Some diminished, some became superstars like Manubhakar for one, Sarabjot Singh.
Yes.
And to become a part of a contingent like that, where you have to not just prove your existence into the contingent, but the very idea that you are still continuing shooting.
Yes.
Okay. Swapnil Kusale from Kolhapur is currently based out of Pune, and he is a very soft-spoken person. Stays away from social media. One of the reasons that he gave that he stays away from social media is that he wants to focus on shooting. And shooting has been his constant life. So when we were having a conversation with Swapnil at the Bhopal trials, we asked him how has he been so consistent and present since he started shooting. Now he's 29 and has been almost a decade since he has started shooting. So just to think about being consistent when you see shooters getting diminished in front of you, Olympics after the Olympics, to keep the hope alive that one day you can actually touch the podium. Interesting thing about Swapnil Kusale is that he lives in a moment,
Yes.
one shot at a time. Uh, his idea of dealing with the nerves is you just take care of the first shot, the next will create the history. Obviously, he was not aware that it might. Obviously, see, basically, when a shooter shoot, every time we had a word with anyone who has won the medal or qualified for the finals, they usually come up with this logic and reason. I'm not saying it's beyond the and reason, but it also makes sense that they do not care about the average score. They just think about the first score, the current shot. And I'm pretty sure that when Swapnil Kusale was hitting the penalty shot, um, he might not have realized that what he has done, even for himself, is revolutionary. Because Swapnil has been, again, I mentioned that he has been in the shooting circuit for almost a decade, and this is his debut Olympics. To become a medalist, a historic medalist at 29 in the debut Olympics itself is a big deal. And to talk about that, this is no magic. Okay, people didn't know he was not a part of the popular conversation, not because he has not been performing, just because other shooters were more star-studded, let's say. But what happened today is no magic. It has been absolute patience. It has been absolute consistency from Swapnil Kusale because this is not the first time he reached a final on a big stage. So we are going to talk about the Asian Games,
Yes,
right?
I think if you take it back 1 year, he did he was part of the three-member contingent for 50-meter air rifle three positions in the Asian Games along with Aishwarya and Akhil Sharan. And he and Aishwarya together hit the Asian Games record for the qualification of 591. And Swapnil Kusale went to the final with full of confidence. And it was actually the opposite of what had happened today. So even if you look at the qualification of this Paris Olympics, Swapnil's strength in so the three positions are of course kneeling, then prone, then standing. His strength was in kneeling and prone, and then his the standing was where he sort of showed his weakness in the qualification. The same thing happened in the Asian Games last year, where he was in the gold medal position for a big amount of time in the kneeling and prone, and then he had a couple of very bad shots when he came to the standing, and he just went on free fall from first to finish fourth, and it was a heartbreaking moment because he was shooting really, really well. And now it has been the opposite, as I mentioned earlier. He was sticking there with his strength, and then when it came to a question mark on his how he can shoot in the standing position, he took it really, really short. While the others who were under pressure were not shooting really well, and that I think needs a lot of high mentality. And he has taken it. He has handled the pressure really, really well, and he came up with a big a few scores towards the end to sneak into the bronze. And yeah, what a moment! And historically, it's also the first time you are having three Olympic medals in the same sport
Exactly.
in an Olympics. And yeah, I think the shooters have delivered. There was so many question marks around the shooters, pressure around the shooters for not delivering in the last two Olympic Games.
Yeah.
And this time they've delivered three and counting, because we have other shooters also coming in line. And yeah, big historic moment for India in the Olympics.
And also to say this, because you mentioned about the three medals, right? To say this that no other sport could have done it but shooting.
Yes.
You know, if you're looking for a historic feat such as having three medals in one Olympics, creating first and seconds and thirds, and then creating new champions. Because see, Manu Bhaker and Swapnil Kusale, I'll talk about these two medals specifically. Manu Bhaker and Swapnil Kusale are two examples of people, shooters don't exactly diminish if they age. We have had this conversation that why are we not able to sustain one shooter from the other? And Swapnil Kusale and Manu Bhaker winning medals, bronze medal, okay, it's okay. It's okay that the medal is same, but we're not comparing. Do I sound like I'm comparing? No, really.
Not at all.
So my point is that we've had this conversation even during Tokyo Olympics that India has failed to sustain its shooters.
Yes.
Yeah,
definitely.
when we were talking about Jeetu Rai in 2016, so when Jeetu Rai was not there, Saurabh Chaudhary was there, right? So even if you look at this Olympics, there was no Saurabh Chaudhary, but Saurabh Chaudhary, a new name, a debut Olympian. But to say now here there are two conversations that can be summed up. First is that an athlete can come back, and winning a medal in Olympics is a process. What Manu Bhaker has staged at Tokyo, how Manu Bhaker performed at the Tokyo Olympics, and how she has grown mentally, physically, skills as sharp as a gun and a medal. She has won a medal at the Paris Olympics, clearly stating that it is a process. This is how athletes process failures, and this is how athletes with guts win. As for Swapnil Kusale, he's the tale of absolute resilience. Because to become a part of a contingent which is as young as the current one, and to be in shooting circuit for this long, and then to go and participate
Yes,
in the
definitely.
Olympic, that means a lot of courage. Because he had a lot more to prove, because he carries the burden of his experience. I call it burden because it's the burden of his experience, because people will, even shooters like Ashwari probably will usually look at him because when they needed the best shot of their life. And now Swapnil Kusale has taught people how to shoot the best shot of their lives, right?
Yes, I think all the shooters, I think Manu Bhaker, Sarojit Singh, Swapnil Kusale have now sort of brought in the belief into the other shooters who are in the contingent that it's okay, just keep yourself strong mentally, because it's definitely a sport where the weightage for mental health is much higher than it is for physical strength. So I mean, I'm not discounting that physical strength, it has to be there and they have to be in their best shape.
Yes.
But the mental shape is very important in shooting, and that is one of the reasons why you look into, like, you're so much mentally involved in the game, and that sort of hits you when you're not able to deliver it in the big stage, and that's probably one of the reasons why we have seen a lot of yeah, sports people going missing after performing in the Olympics, and we see more new debut. But I think this now will give confidence, especially as you mentioned with Aishwarya, who's gone to his second Olympics, but has come back without a medal. But he has the talent. He has performed everywhere he's gone, and that will give him also the belief that he's still very young and that he could come in the future again and deliver. So this belief factor has probably gone up in the shooting contingent, and
Yes.
it is now just the beginning. We are going to see just a shooting medals pouring left, right, and center.
Exactly.
Hopefully.
Now that you actually mentioned about how Aishwarya went into Tokyo Olympics, how that he participated in Paris. In a country like India, participating in the consecutive Olympics is a big deal in its own right. And because we're talking about the process, I think this particular edition will also teach our shooters to process the failures and to trust the process in the first place and then come back strong.
Definitely.
Yeah. And it's not just going to be Manu, but also people will take inspiration from how to deal with pressure, like Sarabjot Singh.
Yes.
Because the man, he missed the final qualification 10-meter air pistol by Whisker. Okay, it was absolutely luck. And then he collects himself, wipes his tears, and then he goes on. He pairs up with Manu Bhaker already with one bronze medal, decorating a neck, and then he goes on to decorate one more, right? Giving India one of the historic finishes, first ever double medal in shooting, and a kind of redemption for what
Yes,
happened.
definitely.
Right?
I think with all the three shooters who have delivered a medal in Paris, the common thing is they've gone through the lows. In different stages of their careers, they've gone through the lows in while shooting at the biggest stage, and they have had the resilience to come back and deliver. So that says a lot about their character, and yeah, that just really sums up the way they have the magnitude of what they have done in Paris.
Yeah. So because you mentioned about the lows as well, because today is Swapnil Kusale's day, he has had close finishes at fourth in 2022 World Championships in Egypt, right? And then the fourth finish in 2023 Asian Games. Two so close finishes in consecutive years. Absolutely takes it over. But we understand, we talk to him, we understand how he processes nerves, how he takes up the pressure, absorb it. And interestingly, the one common thing between both of the four finishes in 2022 World Championships and the Asian Games has been that one bad shot that pushed Swapnil Kusale out of the and 8.2 pushed him to the fourth. Same thing, almost the same thing happened at the Asian Games. We want to talk about that.
Yes, definitely. Let's talk about the highs now. I think it's a big moment for India, and we have done history already, and we are looking forward to more shooters coming soon. Today, I think Sitka Samra and Anju Motia are going to do the same in the 50-meter air rifle women's. They are going to start their qualification, I think, in a bit more than an hour's time, and then we have our golden girl Manu Bhaker like doing it for the third event this time around, and probably her strongest event, and she will be shooting soon as well, along with Isha Singh, who has also been very impressive. And we also sort of in the men's 25-meter pistol event we have Vijay Sidhu and Anish Banwala. So I think we can expect a few more medals now that the shooters are confident. There have been medals that have been delivered. The pressure will be much lesser. The burden will be much lesser, and I think they will be free to go and deliver.
Will be free.
There is going to be a freeness in the heads, and they can go and deliver.
I think the burden of the Tokyo has been checked now.
Yes, it's definitely. Tokyo and Rio have been not given us the medal. That burden is gone. Now the rest of the shooters have the freedom to go and perform in the biggest stage, and I think we can expect a few more medals.
Yeah, and as we talk about the future, all the events that are going to unfold, a block and a burden that we were talking about, the Tokyo has been shared. That is for sure. And now, I think from this point onwards, everything that the shooters will do is afresh.
Yes.
Yeah, because there are no revenges to take, no redemptions to make, and this is going to be the part of This is going to be the part of the process which is basically going to be about Paris Olympics and not Tokyo. This is something that I believe, and as Swapnil Kusale walks to that podium, becoming the first ever Indian to win a medal in 50-meter rifle three position. The 29-year-old has done something incredible for him as well as for his country. He has been patient for quite long, for a decade. He has waited just to qualify for the Olympics after a couple of very close finishes. Swapnil Kusale is finally will be decorating the glory around his neck, a historic moment for India. And thank you so much for joining us today for this live. We'll be absolutely watching you. We'll be meeting you for the next finals to come for more historic moments that India and us are eagerly waiting for our shooters, for our athletes, for every single athlete who has participated in the Paris to create. Thank you so much for joining. See you next time.